What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 82, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Anichebe is going to be out for 8 days. He got himself injured in that Watford game in the last game, which we won 1-0, and also Jakob isn't going to leave the club after all. I said in the last episode it looks certain that Jakob's going to leave to Newcastle. They said they'll pick him up for £2.4 million. I asked for 2.6 million, and that's, what is that, 400 plus 300, that's 700 grand less than his valuation at 3.3 million pounds, but Newcastle said no, they wouldn't pay another 200 grand, so that feels like a waste of my time, but there you go. Jakob will stay with us for at least for the time being, and there you go. And also as well, I did mention in the last episode, there were 3 players who would agree to sign on pre-contract: Sandro, Dembele and Granit Xhaka, and I did say that I let you guys choose on Twitter which midfielder we would sign. So you guys signed this player for me, you signed this player, and you guys chose Granit Xhaka. So Xhaka comes in, he'll come in next season, which is pretty good. He'll come in with Sane as well, who have already signed. There are the poll results right there. An amazing 67% of you chose Granit Xhaka, only 20% chose Dembele, and 13% chose Sandro. So there you go. Xhaka will arrive in the summer, and yeah, there you go. So you guys chose Granit Xhaka for me, so I'm looking forward to using him next year. I have to say, I didn't really mind who you guys chose for me. It wouldn't really bother me. I mean, to be honest, Sandro, I mean, they're all 3 different types of midfielders, you know what I mean? I mean, Sandro obviously is the type of player who I believe would be really good in that defensive midfield slot, who can really sort of just, make the tough tackles and just make sure that the opponents don't come through all the time. Whereas Granit Xhaka, he seems like he'd be a good sort of deep-lying playmaker for us, to just spread balls around, maybe go for goal from range a lot of time as well. And Dembele seems like the most sort of attacking midfielder of the 3. At least that's what I got from the stats anyway. And yeah, you guys chose Xhaka, so I'm looking forward to using him. I really am, and he'll link up with us next year. And again, thank you very much for voting in the poll, guys. I really do appreciate it. It was your choice, not mine, and I'm glad you guys signed it for me. And that was fun to do as well. I had to say, it was really fun to let you guys choose a player to sign, and maybe we'll do that in the future as well. So definitely follow me on Twitter at @DocLanders, link in the description, and we'll do some more of those polls in the future as well. But anyway, Brown today also isn't going to go to PSG. PSG put in a bid for him. We asked for a lot of money, and they just said no. So I was like, fair enough. And there you go. But we take on Arsenal for the first game of today's episode here in the Capital One Cup semi-final, second leg. Now, of course, we drew the first leg 1 goal each, which meant coming into this game, we had the upper hand due to the away goal ruling. So really, in this game, we knew that Arsenal had to score. So I was tempted to play ultra defensive and just try and soak up pressure and hit them on the counter attack. But instead, I thought, do you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to be adventurous. I want to score some goals. That's what we're best at. But to be honest, I could see from the first minute that was going to be a tactical decision, which really wasn't going to be working for us at all. Of course, Ben Foster was called into action early on with 2 brilliant saves to keep the score at 0-0, and Arsenal and Arsene Wenger's men, well, they were just breaking through at will. And if it wasn't for our goalkeeper Foster, we would have been 1-0 down already. And as Jack Wilshere and Santi Cazorla play the ball inside here, it's headed away as Mertesacker goes for it. But as Diaby wins his header and finds per Mertesacker, the big giant plays it back towards Diaby into Cazorla here, and again, it's a brilliant block by Vestergaard, and we get the ball away for a corner. So Arsenal were just breaking through at will, and I was getting very nervous because I could see them scoring at any opportunity. However, from the corner, it's Jack Wilshere who will cross the ball in here towards the centre. Diaby goes for the header. He doesn't really win it, and there's a force to Niang here. There's a really good chance on the break because Brown today has got acres of space down the right-hand side. He cuts past Lauren Koscielny, and suddenly he's 1-on-1. And Brown today, well, he is the one man you would want in that position there. He's our highest finisher in terms of the finishing stat, if that makes sense. He is one of the coolest finishers in the league. He's one of the top scorers so far. He is the one man you'd want bearing down on goal with 2 defenders breathing down his neck. 1-on-1. He's the one we wanted, and he scored it as well. So you can see why I said to PSG I wasn't going to sell him for, at least not a lot of money. He makes it 1-0, and surely now the game is going to be ours. There was a good chance there for Arsenal at the 74th minute, but the shot went wide, and really, they didn't do anything. After Brown today scored, it was almost like a punch which had completely knocked the wind out of them. They just didn't seem to have any bite after that, and they just seemed to pass the ball around and not really break forward anymore. That shot was genuinely their first chance after Brown today scored, and from the goal kick we work our way forward. Andre Correa goes down the right hand side and gets taken down from just outside the area there. there. At first I dropped the controller, had my hands in the air, I was like, that's a penalty, but it was just on the edge of the area. Ricardo Rodriguez, our left back, strikes it, and well, to be honest, I've said a few times this season that penalties are really easy to score, and free kicks are a lot easier as well, and I think that's good in a way, because free kicks were really hard to score last year. But this free kick by Rodriguez, I have no idea how a goalkeeper of Szczesny's ability did not get anything on it. I mean, it's a good free kick, he gets it up and over the wall, and it does go towards the post, but really Szczesny's got time. He basically stutters before he dives, and Szczesny's got to save that. He really doesn't. In the end, it doesn't matter, because we did win the game by 2-0, and even if that free kick wasn't scored by Rodriguez, we still would have won the game and still gone through to the final. But it was still bizarre to score that free kick, but regardless, take nothing away from it. It was well struck, and we do win the game 2-0. So West Bromwich Albion 2, Arsenal 0 on the night. West Bromwich Albion 3, Arsenal 1 on aggregate, and we are through to the Capital One Cup final for the second year in a row, and we will be taking on Hull City at Wembley. So Hull dispatched of Sheffield United by 6-1, and we will meet them in the final in London. So yeah, that'll be a live commentary as per usual, so look forward to that. I think that's going to be episode number 86, I reckon. I think it's 86, and that'll be a live commentary, so yeah, look forward to that. Should be good fun, and there you go. So yeah, that should be a good game, and hopefully we can retain our Capital One Cup trophy as we did win it last year. Anyway, for the second and final game of today's episode here, we take on Burnley away at Turf Moor, and of course Burnley are now a championship side. In real life, of course, a Premier League team, but in the game they're a championship team. And as you can see, we take on Burnley's men and Sean Dyche's team, if he's still in charge of Burnley at this stage in the game. And they do actually have some decent players. Obviously Michael Kite's a good winger, and Nathaniel Shaloba, decent young winger. Obviously there's no Tom Heaton for Burnley in a goal there, Serge Kishak, but still very decent side Burnley have. But we still felt that we'd be the favourites coming into this game, as we're the Premier League side and they are the Championship team. As you can see by my lineup after the Capital One Cup victory, I did make a lot of changes. I think in fact I made 11 changes to the side there. As you can see, the team was still strong enough to get the job done though. So even though we did make a lot of changes, I still felt confident of getting through this game and going through to the next round. And the first chance fell directly from kickoff, as I just gave the ball away of Aaron Creswell like an idiot. However, we won it back, and as Carl Jenkinson gets onto the ball and finds Claudio Jacob, Jacob finds Patrick Roberts, who fake shots around Ward and goes down the right hand side. It's a really good chance here, as Roberts has the pace on his man, plays it back towards Safia Taider, strikes it from range. Good save by the goalkeeper though, but the fans would have been cheering like a goal was scored for Burnley in this game, because their former striker Danny Ings misses an open goal and heads the ball over the bar. So still 0-0, and their former striker missing an open goal must have been good for them, and they would have been cheering again in the 8th minute, because Ings also gets an injury as well. So their ex-striker already missed an open goal and is now injured too. The Burnley fans must have been loving this, they really must have been. And in the 22nd minute they almost capped off what was a brilliant first half for them as things stood, but the shot went wide and out for a goal kick. So still 0-0, but Burnley were getting closer. Sam Vokes going very close there in the 28th minute. The score was still 0-0 though, but they were looking very threatening. But as Danny Ings gets on the ball here, desperate to silence the Boo Boys here at Turf Moor, goes down left hand side, first beats O'Neill, then beats Shackle Hill with a nice little reverse step over, gets himself inside, shoots from a tight angle, and it goes just wide the post and out for a goal kick. So he was getting booed on every opportunity, but he wasn't afraid to put his foot in and try and get stuck into this game and create something for us. And in the 40th minute here, Jakob wins this header. It comes to Berahino inside towards Danny Ings. Good chance here as he turns Shackle, and he does silence the crowd. He makes it Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. He scores in front of the fans who used to cheer his name. He scores on the ground where he used to bang in goal after goal. He makes it Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, and Danny Ings is just hilarious. But in this side, any striker we put on the pitch, he'll always score goals, and Ings, despite limping, does make it Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. In the 44th minute though, Burnley try and get themselves back on level terms. Arfield striking it, but it's a brilliant save by our Korean goalkeeper Kim Seung-yu, and it's turned behind for a corner. And in the second half here, 9 minutes after the restart, Ings loses the ball, but it comes to Safia Taider, back into Berahino, flicks it on, Ings goes through, chips the goalkeeper who was caught in no man's land, but he gets back on time and tips the ball onto the roof of the net and puts it out for a corner. In the 75th minute though, Burnley weren't giving up, and they still were doing everything they could to grab themselves an equalising goal, and they would get it as well, because the header which hit the post went all the way to Sam Vokes in the middle, and Vokes had a simple finish and made it Burnley Burnley 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. So Burnley back on level terms there. Very frustrating goal to concede, because as soon as the header was won there, it hit the post and I was like, oh, okay, danger over, and it just fell straight to the one man you wouldn't want it to fall to there. Nastasic and Kim Seung-gyu were both out of position and he couldn't miss the open goal. So Sam Vokes makes it 1-1. But in the 89th minute here, Burnley come forward themselves again, and as it looks as though we were going to a replay, Kim Seung-gyu launches a throw out towards Berahino, who turns the man and finds Niang, and as Niang turns Shackle there, he's all alone. Burnley have pushed too many bodies forward. Niang goes through one-on-one, and with the game on the line, how cool is that? Heel to heel flicks around the goalkeeper, puts it into the empty net, celebrates in front of the travelling fans, and makes it Burnley 1, West Bromwich Albion 2. So 2-1 to West Brom. Niang, who came off the bench directly after Vokes scored what looked as though it was going to be the equaliser, well, it was the equaliser, and the goal that would send them to a replay. Niang wins us the game in stoppage time, and we are surely going through to the next round of the FA Cup. And the last chance would fall here, but Graham Dorrans' shot was saved by Kim Seung-gyu. We get the ball away, the referee blows for full time. We get ourselves the win by 2-1, and we are through to the next round of the FA Cup, courtesy of Niang coming off the bench and scoring a last-minute winner. So, as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, because it is much appreciated, and of course it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.